How your mind shapes the reality you see. Imagine if what you've been calling reality your whole life was nothing more than an edited version of what your brain wanted you to see. Let's start with a simple question. Why do two people living under the same roof, raised in the same family, going through almost the same life experiences, often have completely different worldviews? Have you ever met siblings like this? One is relentlessly optimistic, the other constantly negative. One sees opportunities everywhere, the other sees only problems. This isn't random. It's not just personality. It's the result of how their brains process reality. Neuroscience tells us that every single second, your brain is bombarded by a tsunami of information from your five senses. Researchers estimate that your body sends over 11 million bits of sensory data per second to your brain. But your conscious mind, it can only handle about 40 bits per second. Let that sink in. That means over 99.99% of reality around you is filtered out, discarded, ignored. And here's the kicker. What makes it through the filter isn't random. It's what your brain considers important. There's a system in your brain called the reticular activating system, RAS. Think of it as the bouncer at the club of your consciousness. It decides which information gets in. Ever notice that when you're thinking about buying a certain car, suddenly that exact model seems to appear everywhere on the road? It's not because suddenly everyone bought the same car overnight. It's because your RAS decided, this matters now, pay attention. This is how your brain works all the time. It's constantly selecting, editing, and prioritizing. The reality you experience today is nothing but a carefully filtered version of what's actually happening around you. And this explains why two people can live in the same situation but feel completely different about life. If your mental filter is tuned to problems, you will see mistakes, threats, and failures first. If your filter is tuned to possibilities, you'll notice opportunities, ideas, and hope first. Psychologists call this cognitive bias, the mental shortcuts that shape how we perceive the world. There are hundreds of these biases, from confirmation bias, seeking only evidence that supports our beliefs, to negativity bias, paying more attention to threats and bad news than good. A famous study from Harvard University on perceptual set demonstrated that simply changing someone's expectation could literally change what they see. Participants were shown an ambiguous image that could be interpreted in two ways. When told, "This is a picture of an animal," they saw an animal. When told, "This is food," they saw food. This means your brain isn't passively recording reality, it's actively shaping it even before you're aware of what you're looking at. Picture this. You're sitting at a cafe. Two strangers share the same table. A person walks in and bursts into loud laughter. One smiles and feels the room get warmer. Wow, what a cheerful vibe. The other frowns and covers their ears, thinking, so rude, why so noisy? Same stimulus, different interpretation, because it's not the world that changes. It's the story your brain tells about it. Here's where it gets truly mind-bending. Your brain isn't just filtering reality, it's creating it. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman argues that evolution didn't shape our brains to see truth. It shaped them to see what's useful for survival. In other words, we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as it helps us stay alive. The clearest example of this is color. Colors don't actually exist out there. What exists are electromagnetic waves of different lengths. Your brain interprets these wavelengths and paints them into color. So when you see a blue sky or green grass, remember that's a construction, a special effect generated inside your head. And if your brain can construct something as basic as color, imagine what it can do with experiences, memories, and emotions. Think about the last time a song made you cry. Scientifically speaking, that song was just sound waves vibrating air molecules. But your brain took those vibrations, connected them to past memories, added emotion, and turned it into a deeply personal experience. This is why two people can experience the exact same event, say, getting fired from a job, but have radically different outcomes. One collapses, the other rises with renewed determination, because their brains wrote different stories about what happened. This isn't just perception, this is personal reality. And here's the trap. If you believe the world is cruel, Your brain will look for evidence to confirm it. You'll notice negative news first, feel judged by strangers, and live in constant vigilance. But if you believe the world is full of kindness, your brain will become more sensitive to smiles, acts of generosity, and open doors of opportunity. In short, you are creating the world you live in. And here's the good news. If your mind has the power to edit and create reality, you have the power to reprogram the filter. Starting today, you can train your brain to filter for things that make your life better. Here's how. Practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. This trains your RAS to look for positives. Catch the negative narrative. When you catch yourself saying, "I failed," reframe it to "I'm learning." Change your questions. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" Bit by bit, your mental filter shifts. And when the filter shifts, the world shifts with it. Reality is like a mirror. Smile at it and it smiles back. Scowl at it and it becomes darker. What you see is not the world as it truly is. What you see is the world as you are. And when you truly grasp this, you'll realize something powerful. You have the ability to create the reality you want to live in. And here's the beautiful part. If your mind has the power to filter and even create reality, then you hold in your hands something extraordinary. The ability to choose the reality you want to live in. Take a moment and really picture this. You wake up tomorrow and instead of being dragged by the weight of yesterday, you decide to set a new filter. You sit quietly, breathe deeply, and choose what you want to notice today. You choose to notice every act of kindness, no matter how small. You choose to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. You choose to notice your own courage, even when you feel afraid. Imagine how different your day would feel. That argument at work wouldn't consume you. Instead, you'd focus on the lesson hidden inside it. That rejection email wouldn't crush you. Instead, you'd see it as a redirection to something better. That lonely moment wouldn't break you. Instead, you'd use it to reach out, connect, grow. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroscience in action. Every time you consciously direct your focus, you are rewiring your brain, building new neural pathways, strengthening circuits of hope, gratitude, and resilience. Over time, this literally changes the physical structure of your brain. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you pay attention to and what you practice. You're not just thinking differently, you are sculpting a new mind. Picture this as a movie scene. The camera follows you walking down the street. The same noisy world is around you. Traffic, chatter, chaos, but something is different. Your posture is taller. Your eyes look for light instead of shadows. You smile at a stranger. They smile back. You see someone struggling and you help them. And in that moment, you realize you're not just changing your reality, you're changing someone else's too. Day by day, this becomes your new normal. Where you once saw walls, you now see doors. Where you once saw dead ends, you now see detours. Where you once saw enemies, you now see teachers. And one day, without even realizing it, you look back and notice your entire life feels different. Not because the world changed, but because you did. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, wake up and ask yourself one question. What reality do I want to create today? Write it down. Carry it with you. And throughout the day, whenever you feel lost, look at that note. Remind yourself, I am not just a passenger in this life. I am the driver. You'll be amazed at how quickly your brain begins to shift. You'll start noticing small wins. Moments of joy will feel brighter. Setbacks will feel lighter. And soon the story you tell yourself about your life will transform from one of survival to one of purpose. Because here's the truth most people never realize. The greatest freedom you will ever experience is not the freedom to control the outside world. It's the freedom to choose how you see it. The moment you claim that freedom, you stop living by default and start living by design. Your reality becomes a masterpiece you create every single day. So, what story will you write tomorrow? What world will you choose to see? Because the world you experience isn't out there. It's being built right now inside your mind. And the pen is already in your hand. It's time to write a reality worth living.